Welcome back, people. It is episode 30 of season 4 of the Taxi Squad podcast. Can't believe it. We've got a fair amount to get into today. We got to talk about this top 100 best athletes of the 2000s because it's kind of criminal. And we also have some golf talk, a little bit of NFL training camp start, little MLB talk. Mike went on a baseball journey this week. And also the NBA TNT drama. It's the Taxi Squad podcast.
Come on, everybody, celebrate. The Taxi Squad is here today. So lose the blues, kick back and relax for now. They talk about sports and stupid stuff. They're probably wrong and it might get rough. So welcome back. It's the Taxi Squad. Yeah.
Vinny, how you doing?
Yeah. What's up, dude? How you doing, bro?
Vince looking like a world star hip hop promoter right now.
Yeah, I'm actually on the new XXL.
Vince
new rappers
just looks
coming
like
up.
like the white guy you meet in a new city
That
who,
sells
like,
cocaine.
Yeah, that definitely sells cocaine and talks aggressively ghetto for no reason. It's like, what's up, bruh?
Yeah. What's up, girl? Yeah, audio listeners, love you to pieces. You can't see me right now, but I'm wearing a nice fluffy bucket hat and some shades. And part of me wants to wear this the whole episode, so I think I might.
Okay.
Half of it's to hide the horrible bags under my eyes,
You sleepy guy.
and then half of it's because I think I look cool.
Vince, speaking
This,
of the listeners, hold on. Speaking
Yeah.
of the listeners, what should they do?
Yo, what's up, baby girl? I just think you got to do one thing for me real quick. You got to hop on that Instagram and Facebook and all that, and TikTok and Spotify and YouTube and all that shit. Just go ahead and download it. Go ahead and like it. Subscribe. Maybe even rate us 5 stars if you got that in you. Daddy would love that. Daddy would really love that if you did that.
Daddy focus.
In all honesty, though, that's huge for us. It really is. So if you can, whatever
Big
you're
deal.
listening to it on,
Big deal.
go ahead and hit the download button.
Do it.
Go ahead and subscribe to us so you know when
Do
it
it.
drops. And be
Do
our
it.
friends, because we're here every week, buddy,
Do it.
for 3+ years now. So come in,
Listen.
enjoy, have fun.
If you don't
Sit
have
back and
friends,
relax for now.
we'll be your friends, okay? We'll be your friends.
Yeah,
You don't need other friends. You got us. You got Mike.
that's
and
true.
Vinny
Stop
Boy.
talking to people. Just listen to us and then
Just listen to us.
reply to us on social media.
Yeah, that's always nice. It's always nice. Interact with us because we post stupid shit and we have fun doing so. But
Yep.
all right, Vince. Well, that's good. Well, Bucket Hat Vince, new with the glasses, looking like he can
Oh, yeah.
sell blow in a bathroom. That's cool.
But I don't. For what it's worth, I don't. I don't touch the bad stuff. That's bad for you. Don't do it.
I don't touch the bad stuff, brother.
Not Mike,
for me, man. Yeah.
we didn't put this on the sheet, but it just came to my mind thinking about Trumpy Bear because I started talking in his cadence again.
What'd you do?
Donald Trump and Bryson DeChambeau golfed together. Did you see this?
Didn't see it.
So
Can't say I saw it.
Bryson DeChambeau's been on a bit of a glory tour for me, is what I would like
Not
to
a
call
hole?
it. Not a hole. No, nothing sexual. But he used to be my least favorite golfer because I thought he was like a meathead loser, and he just hit
now
the
you
ball
like him.
really far.
Now you kind of like him.
And, you know, him winning the major, his demeanor, his YouTube channel has changed it for the better for me. Not a good look for me right now, calling him a douche and wearing what I'm wearing. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. No, I'm keeping these on. No, I'm not.
rosies on,
I
though.
can't do it. No, I'm done. I can't be
this
fake,
guy's a
dude.
real douchebag, even though I look like I could sell you coke
Yeah.
in a nice
No,
little
I
bathroom.
became aggressively self-aware right there. It got bad quick. No, so him and Trump, he had Trump on his YouTube channel and they did like a breaking 50 thing where they
Okay.
try to like I think that's what it is. They try to break 50 as a duo in a scramble. I didn't watch the whole thing. Trump golfed pretty well, which is what he was trying to convince people of initially, which I guess that does work. But I thought it was, say what you will about the man, whatever. I thought it was kind of a smart move for a guy to go on and do something like that on YouTube. Younger audience appeals to it that way. So I know we don't have Joe no mo, but I was going to say Joe's got to call like Jordan Spieth and get on the links as quickly as he can.
Oh, yeah. We'll see if he could even do that or finish his sentence. I mean, everybody knew he was going to drop out. I mean, so there you go. There's
conspiracy is now that he's dead, but supposedly he's been seen, so.
I mean, conspiracy is that what Avril Lavigne died many moons ago, and she has a plant.
Yeah, they replaced her with somebody.
Thing. Yeah.
I have a question about conspiracies for you, Mike.
Sure. I'm a big conspiracy guy.
I don't believe many, but I like them a lot.
Yeah.
I love a conspiracy.
Well, like, hey, loose change, 9/11 conspiracy. I mean, that's pretty much confirmed that was completely staged by our own government.
Moon landing
landing. There's a whole movie showing how the moon landing was faked.
JFK assassination.
You can even argue COVID. There's another one of those again. Don't believe it.
What I like about conspiracy theorists is there's a conspiracy for everything.
Everything.
Like, you go to a diner and your toast comes and it's not toasted enough. You're like, God damn it. Like, this was the CIA sneaking a camera in my toast so we can see the inside of my stomach. And you're
can we pause and talk about how wonderful toast is as a breakfast item? How diverse. You could dip it with your eggs. You could put peanut butter or jelly on it, or both if you're dare to be different. And then if you really want to have a delightful little treat in the morning, cinnamon, sugar, butter. That's good. And dude, I'm kind of a psychopath. Go ahead.
That's a staple for like 90s kids. The cinnamon, sugar, like everybody I know has had that.
Of course. If you want to get crazy, you could put an egg on it, like, because it goes. And then not only that, okay, dipping toast in coffee. I might be a psychopath for doing that.
That's fucking weird. You're a weirdo.
It's fucking fantastic. I don't know what that is, but butter, toast, dipped in coffee, absolutely outstanding.
I can see that because like a donut
right now.
A donut is good. All you're doing is eating a donut without the sugar, which is better for you regardless.
Right. And I mean, let's face it, bread is probably not good for you. You know, for those of all
overall,
of us,
no, it isn't.
No, but God, is it delicious?
Yeah, that is my Achilles heel. That's my issue. I love bread.
Well, growing up in an Italian house, I tell you, it's difficult
How you
not too slight of the bread and pasta.
No,
pasta is something that I could literally eat every day if I truly felt the need to. So,
all right, you either get bread for the rest of your life or pasta for the rest of your life.
Pasta.
I'm taking bread every day.
No, because pasta you could do so much with. It's so diverse. You could add beef. You could add sausage. You could add fish. You could add shellfish. You can't, for example, you can't have a zuppa de pesh with bread. You can't do that.
Yeah,
right?
But you can't have a hamburger without bread.
Fine. I don't necessarily need the hamburger.
Okay.
I could simply get away without the bun for that.
You're dipping rigatoni in your coffee every morning.
My wife is kind of interesting. She eats pasta raw. Like
I've heard about that. Yeah, I've seen that.
It's disgusting.
It's gross.
I think it's absolutely gross. Cook the pasta before you eat it, people.
Right.
Well,
and you could also do that, and then you can, like, you know, if you get a ravioli, you can pan sear it so you get the crunch. But I don't know if I'd eat it raw. I'm with you there.
Pause. All right, welcome back to the Food Podcast with Mike and Vince. Let's talk about sports, shall we?
Let's talk about it.
This ESPN Top 100 list came out.
Yeah, man.
And it's the top 100 athletes of the 21st century, so primarily the 2000s. And the top 10, in my opinion, kind of criminal.
It's weirdly set up.
I'm
okay with number one.
Michael Phelps is the most winning athlete in anything, and I think
in
because
Olympics
the
history,
Olympics,
He's the
Yeah.
Olympian. You gotta give it to the Olympian. Yeah.
Right. He's a guy.
But Serena, I get to a point.
Sure.
Messi's
one of the best soccer players to ever live.
I agree, but
He's like modern day Pele.
he's my GOAT, personally. Messi is. I don't know how you don't include the winningest athlete in the major American sports in the top 3. I'm not a Tom Brady truther. If you remember at the beginning of this show, like I was actually roasting Mike for eating his butt all the time. He should be top 3 of the 21st
Tom Brady
century.
should be top 3. The fact that LeBron James is 4 is absolute hogwash.
The fact that LeBron
Bullshit.
is above him is classic ESPN bullshit. This is why ESPN drives me nuts, dude.
Yeah, this is typical ESPN LeBron dick writing show.
Ooh, self-awareness. Self-awareness again. Why did they do it, Mike? Why did they put Brady under LeBron?
I don't know, man. I didn't
Because us two are talking about it on a random Wednesday night about
they
how
just want to give
bullshit
Stephen
it
A.
is.
Smith more content. Be like,
Brother.
I can't believe this brother didn't get number 1. LeBron James. Blah, blah, blah. Just like, okay, all right.
I was watching that today. Stephen A. Smith constantly pissing me off. Chris
How's
Mad
Molly
Dog
Kieran
Russo. I forgot the team he was talking about. It was baseball. He might have been talking about the Mets. But
Did
he's
he
like,
say he was
I
gonna
love this
retire?
team. Yeah, he still hasn't retired, so he's a phony clown. But then he's like, I love
big
this
fat
team. I watch
phony.
this team every game, blah, blah, blah. And then one of their pitchers came up. He's like, I don't even know how to say that guy's name. I'm like, how do you?
So, no, so you don't watch them every
He's
day,
a
Chris Mad Dog
he's a
Russo?
sportscaster. He claims to be the biggest fan of this team and can't pronounce names on the team. Like, we don't even make close to near the money that guy makes. But I can at least tell you, I can at least read every name on the Chicago White Sox. Like, what are we doing here? But enough of that stupid show. Because we have 100 players to get through. And we're going to go through each of them individually. Not.
Are you serious?
Not.
Yeah, no fucking way.
Not.
I don't think we have enough time for that. Everybody would definitely be like, okay, tuning out. All
Ever
right.
heard of Roger
yeah.
Federer?
You ever hear of this guy? Now, one thing I did think was criminal. Kobe is 10. And this made 0 sense to me.
Why is
Kobe
that?
is
Higher
the
or lower
Mamba.
he should be?
He should be so much higher than fucking 10. It's Kobe. He should at least be above Tiger. Tiger's 8.
Kobe Bryant should be above Tiger Woods?
Yeah, if LeBron James is 4, Kobe should be above that. That's bullshit.
He won 13 majors.
Kobe won 5 championships and like 8 MVPs. What are you getting at?
11 major wins as the number 1 golfer. 9 more than any player of all time. I can hear an argument against
Kobe.
Simone Biles. And as a side note, all of these people are incredibly good athletes. This is not like a this person
Yeah.
sucks thing. I see what you're saying. I couldn't rank him higher than anybody on this top 10, personally.
All right.
But I see what you're saying. I mean, and that's the thing with these lists. Like, everybody's is a little bit different.
Everybody's list, of course, is different. Now, Pujols was an interesting one. He made 24. One could argue Sidney Crosby being 22 and Sid not being top 10.
Yeah.
Arguably, like one of the greatest hockey players of an entire generation.
Yeah.
Maybe modern day Wayne Gretzky, one could say.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, he's been the most dominant in this period, only rivaled to Alexander Ovechkin, who doesn't touch him. Sorry, Washington.
Ovechkin's insane, though.
Right.
I mean, both are very good, but I mean, Sid the Kid is truly amazing.
He should be top 15. I think that the fact that there's no NHL players in the top 20 is criminal. Especially when you're looking, like, I know Aaron Donald was dominant, but to say he was better than Sidney Crosby in the sport as a whole is pretty crazy. to me.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, Aaron Donald just retired, too, so he really only played, like, 9 years in total and retired pretty young.
He came
modern
in
day Reggie
after
White.
and retired before Sidney Crosby.
It's truly insane. So how the
And
hell?
comparatively, you can look at Kevin Garnett and Sidney Crosby because they're 1 and 2 next to each other on the list. Like, Sidney Crosby is a lot more dominant of his sport than Kevin Garnett was. All respect to Kevin, but
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know who makes these lists. I don't know if it's like a group of writers, but it just doesn't track with me. And I don't know. But
Jokic
everybody's
is
opinion
28.
different. Yeah, no,
that's
I don't-
crazy too. Like, there's certain guys that you're like, he should be lower right now. He's won 1, he's won 2 MVPs, he's been very good. But this is since 2000. Like, that's Kershaw's
24
more
years of
important than
data.
Jokic. Kershaw was way
Kershaw.
more important than Jokic.
Modern day Albert, one could even argue Barry Bonds. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Albert Pujols, there was a run there in St. Louis where people were saying he could be the best hitter ever. There was a crazy run there where it was like,
he was on fire.
yeah.
I mean, he's not the greatest hitter ever. Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter ever.
He was on pace. He's definitely not. I mean, that was the same thing with Trout. Trout's not going to be the best hitter ever either. Barry Bonds is clearly the best hitter ever, and no one can argue that, in my humble opinion. One big issue I have with this, too, is there's too many basketball players. ESPN loves basketball.
Yeah, they love basketball. They're incredibly basketball heavy.
Like, Jason Kidd is the 69th best athlete since 2000. He was very good. There's 24 basketball players, and there's 3 hockey players.
That's garbage.
Right. 4 boxers.
Who are the 3
4
hockey
golfers.
players?
It's Crosby, Ovechkin, and Connor McDavid, which brings me to my biggest point on this is that Connor McDavid's been pretty dominant since his entrance into the league. He is as influential as Ed Reed, as they say, in this. I think he's more important to the sport than
Reed.
Yeah, he's more important to the sport than Darrelle Revis, in my humble opinion. You start going up the list, and you're like, I could probably slot McDavid somewhere in the 70s and be fine. Like, McDavid, more dominant than Kawhi Leonard. What is Kawhi Leonard doing there? I know he's won
Patrick
2
Kane?
Finals MVP. Yeah, Kane's not even on there.
You could put Patrick Kane and Jonathan Tays in like automatically, and it would work. There are so many wonderful hockey players who are impeccable athletes that could be on this list that are not, which is truly insane.
Like, Kawhi Leonard making it. 2-time NBA championship. Patrick Kane's got 3. Like, 5-time All-Star. Patrick Kane's been selected to All-Star games. Again, it's a list that is totally arguable. But this is just another one of those things where it's like ESPN sports writers are so full of themselves and they're so biased. And that's journalism everywhere.
It's just content to give Stephen A so he can scream on television. I'm telling you. That's
You're
what
telling me Lauren Jackson's 84th? It's like, you don't even know who Lauren
And then
Jackson
Pat
is.
McAfee gets it. He's like, well, that's just what it is. And I signed a bajillion-dollar deal to now be on College Game Day every Saturday.
People are pissed about that. I don't know if you heard him talking
Why?
about that
Why would
today.
anybody be pissed about that?
People want to get Pat McAfee off the program. He's making it unserious.
Huh?
Yeah.
Pat's
So
the
go
fun,
watch-
man.
I watched this with my kid. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason people like Inside the NBA, which we'll get to. Bury the lead. Any
Inside
other
the
big takeaways from this top 100 list?
Yeah, it's just Tom isn't top 3 to
Tom
the
should
question.
be
And Peyton Manning should be in the top 10, hypothetically.
At the very least, top like 25. What is he, like 50th?
Yeah, like Peyton Manning's 50. Really? Peyton Manning owned the fucking league for like a
Peyton
decade.
Manning and James Harden are far too close on this list. Is my issue.
No, that's criminal because if you look at that era, Tom and Peyton were the creme de la creme.
1-1, right? Like,
It's insane to me.
LeBron and Kobe, 1-1. Ovechkin and Crosby, 1-1. Like, that's.
You could even argue DJ and Alex Rodriguez could be higher on that list too. Derek Jeter's arguably one of the most influential athletes of the 21st century. Easy.
Yeah, but you got to remember that everybody hates Alex
2000.
Rodriguez for off-the-field bullshit instead of just.
Do you know
appreciating
the
what he is.
story of Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez and why they hated each other? Where Jessica Alba fits
It was
in all
women. Yeah. I've heard.
Yeah,
that story, but go ahead and
Jessica
remind
Alba.
us.
Jessica Alba was playing two sides against the fence, and that DJ and Alex Rodriguez came in the league at the same time. They were actually very good friends, and then,
Both competing at the same position when A-Rod was a
correct.
shortstop.
So they were both creme de la creme, and then single good looking dudes. and one's in New York, and Jessica Alba, Alex Rodriguez, the DJ, and she wound up going with DJ, and I guess that drove a split into them. And then Alex Rodriguez talked a bunch of shit about Derek Jeter in a Sports Illustrated article, and then after that, they just fucking hated each other. And even though they played together, won a World Series together, they didn't really like each other.
Yeah, and I mean, what was it, last year when they were coming out with that Derek Jeter documentary? Then they like sat down together and hashed out their issues. I don't blame them, personally. Jessica Alba's like top tier A1 lady in my head. Like sexual awakening, whole gambit. I love Jessica Alba. I still do to this day. She's an absolute smoke. And her husband creates my underpants, so that's pretty cool.
Well, do you also know, speaking of underpants, that it is confirmed that she does have herpes simplex tan? So does Derek Jeter.
Her what?
Allegedly, herpes.
She has her suplex tan?
She has herpes, Vince. That's what I'm getting at.
Most people
do. So
do.
does Derek Jeter.
Most people do.
Yeah, it's dormant in your body, technically, but she has it. It's there.
Okay.
Vince is like, I'd go into that burning building. I'm running.
Throw me in there. I volunteer
Throw me into the burning building.
No, I'm
Mike.
kidding. She's a mother and a wife, and I would never, because Cash Warren's
She's a nice lady.
He makes great underpants. Pair of Thieves rock. I've been ordering them before they got into Target, so don't.
I'm an easy Hanes guy. You know, I read an article the other day. They said you shouldn't wear synthetic material for your undergarments simply for the fact that they're not good for the testes.
That's not good because that's my preferred undergarment.
I know, but I'm just saying they actually say it reduces sperm count. And, you know, for the pashad, you know, it could technically affect, you know, your sperm overall and its health. And then, you know, if you're trying to make the babies, you know, when you're about a year and a half out of making kids, you start reading this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to be in peak physical performance for that.
So, and that's the thing, too. There's a lot of contributors to that. And this certainly isn't like a, what do you call it? Fertility podcast.
Fertility and food podcast.
There's a lot of shit in our food that's fucking us up, probably more than synthetic undergarments, in my humble opinion. It's
all relative. Let's talk about golf, speaking of
Shall
underwear.
we? Let's talk about something more exciting. Golf.
Golf. Yes.
Let's
talk about, what was it,
Mike,
the British Open?
Yeah, I think it's called the Open Championship now. For some reason, we changed it. We changed it from the British Open. They're like, well, they started golf, so just give them the Open. Mike, who's the best golfer in the world?
Scotty Scheffler.
Some would say. You can make an argument for somebody else, and that man is Xander Schauffle.
Get your boy, dog.
Get your boy, Xan. Get your boy. Xander Schauffle wins the British Open, also known as the Open Championship.
How'd Rory play?
Does it matter?
I'm just asking.
You're talking about our 91st best athlete since 2000, Rory McIlroy?
Seriously? That's a joke.
Yeah. He was very good for a couple years there, but he wasn't even in the top 10 based on what I'm seeing. I didn't follow him much. Did he even play? He did. Yeah, he was cut at 11 over.
Damn. For his hometown match, that sucks.
He's cooked more than a steak in Britain, buddy. Well done.
Yeah, they don't cook well in Britain.
Yeah, I went to a wedding in Ireland. I love my Irish family. You guys rock. This isn't a
shout out to
slight
the
on
Irish
you.
family. Shout out to the Irish family.
we got a slab of beef and it was cooked through. So
yes, it was.
My jaw got a workout. They were worried about, a long time ago. My grandpa would do that too. My grandpa would eat like medium to medium well meat just because they were scared of disease and shit. But
well, how do you think fucking corned beef was invented? They just boil it until it's tender.
Yeah, and
then it just so happens to be absolutely fucking delicious on rye bread. It's a Hungry Boys podcast this week,
dude. I could use some food right now.
I could fuck with a corned beef sandwich.
I would totally fuck a corned beef, or I would totally fuck with. I did that
this week on the Taxi Squad podcast. Vince fucked the corned beef sandwich.
You're like, oh, gross.
Oh, God.
Anyway, back to it. Xander Schauffle wins the British Open, giving him 2 major championships on the year. The most by any golfer this year. Now, I'm obviously being sarcastic here. Scottie Scheffler is the best golfer in the world right now, but
Yes.
given some metrics, given championships, the LeBron versus Michael debate, blah, 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 Xander won 2, baby. Xander won 2.
Well, I mean, you never know. He could be kind of that dark horse. He could be that kind of Peyton Manning, so to speak.
He's one of those fellas
Tom
that we
Brady's
were
lure.
right, yeah, like behind it. He's one of those fellas that we've kind of been waiting for. We're like, he's gonna get there. He's gonna start playing golf well. He's gotten close a few times, and I like when this happens in golf because oftentimes it's hard to have, a character in golf. Speaking of Scottie Scheffler, coolest thing he ever done is get arrested on accident. Outside of that, he's just bald.
Nobody's John Daly anymore. Nobody's ripping cigs and darts.
You can't be. You're not even making it on the tour if you're John Daly.
Who's that girl, that female golfer who smokes cigarettes? She's Australian or she's British.
We talked about her on this program.
She's love her for that.
Yeah, everything tracks, honestly, for that.
Yeah, smoking cigs on a course. I mean, come on, ripping darts.
A beautiful blonde lady ripping drives and smoking cigs is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
Is it good for you? Doesn't matter. That's not what we talk about. Xander's number 2 now. Xander's moved up to number 2 in the world, followed by a man by the name of Rory McIlroy. I never really understand world golf rankings ever, and this is another reason as to why. Yeah, it's like average points lost, points won. Doesn't make any sense to me. I look at it, I take it as, as God. Same idea as the college football top 25, which, unless you have any other golf opinions, we can just move on into that.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about this right now. I am truly taking programs to the next level.
Mike, you made a conscious and great decision this week. And that was... Last week. That was, right, end of last week. That was a nice purchase. The story's awesome. You want to just give it? You want to give a cliff note for that?
So, been working a lot lately, traveling a lot, going many places. So, had a trip in Anaheim last week. Worked. Had a little pleasure. Went to Newport Beach. If you've ever been, absolutely famous. Absolutely awesome. Bear flag fish, fucking awesome.
BFF?
10 out of 10. Would recommend. Go to Bear Flag Fish on Newport Beach. Absolutely amazing. Some of the best seafood you will ever have. They catch it that day. They prepare it that day. It's 2 guys who own a fishing boat who started their own restaurant. Absolutely fucking dynamite.
So Cali.
It's so sick. So would recommend do that if you ever are there. Also decided on the way home, College Football 25 drops on a Friday. I leave Friday.
I'd like to take a little bit of credit for this.
Take it easy. So Vince has been pushing me for a while to buy a PS5 because he said, dude, you need to be fucking ready when this game drops because we have content to produce around it. Shout out. Watch out for the Twitch and the YouTube live streaming of Vince and I playing this game. This is genius/wonderful content. Now, driving back in the 5.5 hours, wife is sitting shotgun. She took the little trip with me because it was her last little hurrah before she goes back to school. So
she's working at a school. Mike's not dating a high schooler or married to a high schooler. I just want to make that clear.
No, I'm married to a school psychologist. She's far smarter than me. So with that, all right, we're driving back. Wife is a big Target gal, like most of you gals are. Talking to Vince on the way home, and I'm like, all right, got to do this. He's like, dude, yeah, you got to do it, but it might be sold out because a lot of people are doing exactly and thinking exactly the same way you are. I'm like, you're probably right. To give everybody some reference, I haven't bought a fucking gaming system since I was in like my early 20s. It's been about 9 years since I've bought a gaming system. Okay. I don't do it as much as I used to. Kind of miss it. So I'm like, all right. So we're driving back and I look over at wife. I said, go on Target's website, see if they got a PS5. So she's like, oh yeah, they got them in stock. One right by our house has it. I said, all right, order that bad boy.
Yeah.
Order it. And it was the most anticlimactic thing I've ever been a part of. Growing up as a 90s kid, when gaming systems were released and you went to purchase one, it was a fucking event.
Yep.
Like you waited outside, you got on a wait list 2 months in advance, you went to buy the fucking thing, you stood in line in the cold, and then you got up front, you throw the money down, you were proud PS2, PS3, PS4 owner. Not this. She literally orders it online. We park in the spot to go pick up. Little kid comes out. He's like, "You order a PS5?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Can I put it in the back?" I said, "Sure." Opens the door, puts it in the back, closes the door. Have a good day.
Mike, you could have waited outside Target for 4 hours if you wanted to. No one was stopping you.
But I was like, wait a minute. That is fantastic. One, but two,
Yeah.
It's epic. And now all the games, I just got the digital version because I don't need discs of stuff.
No.
So I get the digital version. I didn't know PlayStation has a fucking app on your telephone. This is fantastic. I sound so old right now, but I just
you do.
You just.
I don't even need the CD-ROM. That's what I heard out of your mouth. It's like, dude, all games are digital. All games are digital now. I don't know if they didn't give me the yellow and the red plug to put it in the back.
Oh, boy, I could just hit a button and I'll just be there at any point.
This isn't the
Hooray.
Sega Genesis anymore.
Right? So I immediately get home, unbox this thing, put it up, get it there, and then just turn it on. I download the game immediately, bought the game in the App Store. 40 minutes, I'm rocking and rolling and taking, the greatest team ever to beat Notre Dame, USC. Just absolutely smoked them again.
Hey, I did the same thing on my end, bud. Don't worry.
So that's the first game you did. You kind of knock off the cobwebs. You get ready.
Yeah.
The game is fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful. NCAA 25. Shout out to EA Sports. It's the best game they've made in 20 years.
It's so good. So obviously a lot of
game they've made in a decade. Let's put it that way.
For sure. A lot of people have been talking about this game, and we're also going to do that. And if you don't like it, then just skip ahead because I need to. Honestly, part of my tiredness might be because of this game, if I'm being humbly honest.
Really? How late have you been up? How many hours do you have logged?
Not like crazy. I probably logged, probably a work week. I probably logged a work week.
You got 40
somewhere
hours?
around there. Yeah, because like Sunday, I played it a lot on Sunday. Like I was sitting there just ripping.
Yeah, and I friended you. I'm like, Vinny, let's go. And you're like, no. I'm like,
I accepted you. I don't have. Okay, let me get on my soapbox really quick. So because of the app on PlayStation, when I log into PlayStation, everybody with the app that has notifications on gets notified that I logged on. And I have a couple friends that will just be like, hell yeah, dude, playing college football. I'm like, fucking leave me alone. Like, I don't want you to know what I'm doing. It's the same idea.
Bruh.
It's the same idea as people getting like locations. Like I don't send my locations to anybody for more than like an hour because I don't want them to know where I am all the time. Like I'm going to do I'm booling, baby. I'm just going to do crazy
I'm doing
shit.
my thing, baby.
Yeah, I'm vibing here. So I go on offline all the time. So if I'm I might look offline, but I'm not, just so you know. Anyway.
Wow, sneaky boy. So
Team Builder. They have a thing called Team Builder in this game, and you can create a team just like any other. And it's awesome because if you guys don't know, went to DePaul University, home of the Blue Demons, the worst basketball team in the country.
He's a Blue Demon.
The mascot is named Dibs, and Dibs was created from the 1920 or 30 DePaul Blue Demon football team. So there used to be a football team at DePaul. They since got rid of it. So I brought it back, bitch. And goddamn, is it hard. So I took over Old Dominion, who was like the worst team in the game, and then put them in the Big Ten. My team is so ass. Can't recruit anybody. All this shit. I'm on year like 4 now, and I'm just like finally getting 5 stars in. Finally. Like I think I'm going to win the Natty this year.
Are you ranked?
Yeah. Yeah. We're ranked
You're
at 6
5
right now.
seasons in already?
Yeah. But I simulate like half of it. I don't play every game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's
You're
like
a quitter.
I could play with my 73 rated overall quarterback, but I'd rather just gain confidence and then start recruiting him after that. It's dope. One of the negatives and I think this might happen again, is you can't use Team Builder on offline. So I can't just like make an offline dynasty. I have to do online. And what has been happening is servers have been going down. So like I sat down to play the other day and it just didn't work. And I was like, oh, fuck, did I lose it? So then 3 hours later I checked it and it still wouldn't load. I'm like, fucking corrupted data. I lost it. God damn it. And I was like, I just put in like 35 hours into this shit. Like, what do I do?
You have it?
It works now. Yeah, I think there might be copyright issues going forward. Like they might end up removing the logo and shit at some point. But it's an elite game. The home away shit's amazing. The play style's different than Madden. Defense is fucking impossible.
It's
completely
so hard.
Impossible.
If you're good at defense in this game, you've logged
You're
some
a
hours
nerd.
because
You're a
it
loser.
is insane.
Yeah.
It is absolutely insane how difficult it is because it's like you get in a game with like the homies and it's just like score fast, score fast,
Yep.
score fast, score fast, up and down, up and down, up and down. And like the home field advantage thing is so real playing this game. Like I played my brother-in-law the other day. He was Penn State. I was fucking V-Tech because we randomed. And he's talking shit that he beat
You
my
playing
ass.
in
I'm like,
Happy
well, no
Valley?
Yeah. I was like, well, no kidding. You beat my ass. You're one of the best teams in the fucking game, A. B, playing there is damn near impossible. And I put up a good fight. It was bullshit. He had a user pick at the end of the game. I threw an absolute dime. And I'm like, okay, user pick's damn near impossible in this game. He gets one. I'm like, okay, this is absolute booty. But
I'm ready to play you. I'm prepared to play you.
Hey, I'm ready. When I get home and it's on, it will be on.
You get home, setting up the Twitch 1v1 for the first one, and then we can start doing dynasty shit. But I need to 1v1 you.
Done. Let's 1v1 it.
All
Now,
day.
I have logged a grand total of playing this game from a Friday to a Sunday. I've logged a grand total of 22 hours.
Woo!
So I got the system Friday night. I have been
God
getting
damn, Michael.
started as an offensive coordinator at the great Tulsa University.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to build my name up there.
Home of the
Hurricanes, Golden Hurricanes.
Okay. Never would have known that. Okay.
Yeah, you would have thought it'd be like a tornado. No.
Yeah.
Oklahoma?
That's the New Orleans one, Tulane.
Yeah, they're the wave, the
Yeah.
green wave. No, they're the Golden Hurricanes, and I'm rocking and rolling. QB's an absolute stud sophomore. Guy's a fucking freak. I'm lighting shit up. I got some seniors, playing great, and with that, it's been a slice. I'm gonna take Tulsa. We'll see how it goes next season.
I was gonna say, what's
I
your
get an
plan?
offer.
2-3
plan-
years, or
my
you
pl- my-
dipping for head coach?
Oh, I'm going for head coach.
Yeah.
Head coach is next. I'm starting as an OC, going to build up the name, and I'm definitely getting offers at the end of this season because
I got
recruiting.
a Texas offer yesterday, and I almost left the team that I built
Oh,
to go there.
I would have gone.
Nah,
I don't want
DePaul,
to take
baby.
over. If I'm going to become a head coach, I don't want to take over an insane program. I want to take
Right.
over fucking NIU or give me somebody that's on the bottom of the totem pole. Maybe I'll go take SMU back to relevance, right?
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You should pick a team that used to be good and isn't anymore, and bring them back.
Right. SMU, they were great, but they got in all the trouble because they were giving players money before that was legal to do.
Yep. They just need to find another OJ. So I said a lot of shit that I was worried going into this game that like it's overhyped. Like it's not going to be as good as we've been saying it is.
Oh no,
It is.
it is.
It
It
is.
is.
Somehow
It is.
they
It's definitely
appealed to my high expectations, and I love it. I love that game. They fucking killed it. So that's video game talk, baby.
Video game talk. Now let's talk real talk. So Vince, you just threw this.
This just
in the-
happened.
in the notes. So Utah
Yeah.
State says that Blake Anderson fired.
Bro, this should have been
Wow.
strange and unusual, but we found this after we recorded strange and unusual for the 100. So I don't know a lot about this. This is kind of like first reaction because we're obviously recording when I found it. Utah State's Blake Anderson has been fired for contacting potential domestic violence victim and a witness to the incident after an Aggies football player was arrested and failing to properly report the case, according to the termination letter earlier this month.
What a terrible phone call
hey,
for the victim.
stupid idiot. That's what I was like. Hey, dumbass. That's like something crazy happening and being like, oh, this guy just killed a guy. Let me just call him really quick and check in with his mom and see if we can keep it on the hush hush.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come down there. I'll beat the fuck out of you.
What does he think it is? Is this like, Chicago in the fucking 30s? Like, what does he
You
think
better
this
not
is?
speak. You do.
Yeah.
We're coming for you.
2 smackaroos right to the face for anybody who talks. Like, that's literally what it is. Anderson's response to the school's termination said he was fired for convenience, not for cause, and this dismissal was a sham.
Was
he
it
did
though?
For sure. He did it
Was
for
it
sure.
though?
No one
He
gets
totally
that pissed off.
trying to get his player off, and
Yeah.
probably one of his players smacked up his baby mama, and he calls her probably to be like, "Hey, you're not going to say a fucking word. We're going to settle this out of court," and that didn't happen, and she
That
totally
will always go wrong. Tell me one time in the 21st century that doing that's going to work for you. One day, all that needs to happen is one thing where someone records it, which will likely happen, and then you're screwed. Like, hey, play by the book,
fuck.
ding dong.
Yeah,
It's like, I really need this defensive tackle, though.
Working on a piece for next week, and I have to do more digging. But allegedly, the D-backs coach at Nebraska, who resigned, is a very horny little boy.
Sussy.
Got an inside line on this while I was in Minneapolis last week, or this week, and I got to do more homework. So I'm going to plug that. That's going to be good. So check that out next week. Let's talk about the NFL.
Yeah.
Got in a screenshot, just kind of a couple things going on, things to pay attention to. Season starting. As we know, training camps across the NFL have now started. There's a couple interesting things to monitor. Currently, Lamar Jackson is out at camp since he is dealing with an illness. Other things, as we discussed last week, Brandon Ayuk requested a trade, but is still showing up to camp. Ricky Pearsall pulled a hammy. John Lynch is still very just status quo on the status of Brandon Ayuk.
You think he can hit hard still?
John Lynch is an absolute fucking nightmare.
I see John Lynch today. I'm like, he could probably strap it up and go.
He's still good shape.
He looks great.
To add to that, Jamar Chase not looking like he's going to get his extension before the season starts. So that's very interesting and something to monitor because Justin Jefferson got his extension.
You see that video that that was posted today with Jamar Chase in it? They were like, who's the best player in the NFL? He's like, I know who you guys want me to say, but I'm not saying it. We won't say his name. And they're like, who is it? Like, I don't know who you're talking about. He's like, yeah, you do. Not saying it. He's very good. My answer is Joe Burrow. Not saying that guy's name. He's really good at quarterback. He's not going to say his name. He's treating
That's awesome.
Pat Mahomes like Voldemort.
Yeah, I'm not saying his name. Well, no, because they've lost to him once on absolute fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So with that, also Trent Williams is holding out of camp, which is a really big thing to document because he is arguably the best left tackle in all football.
Huge
and then
for that
CeeDee Lamb is holding out as well.
Yep.
So there's a lot of contract disputes going on across the league, and these guys are going to get paid. And I don't know. It's always very interesting to me to see the Cowboys players hold out because they're all such fucking prima donnas.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a deal gets done, but then so Dak got paid. They're rebuilding.
Did he officially? He's about to get paid again.
Right. But Jerry, is it wrong to say that the Cowboys really only give a shit about retaining players that the Cowboys drafted because it's like an ego thing?
I don't know, because they only keep their good players for real. They'll let everybody run. I mean, they have Zeke again, too, no?
Yeah, they got the Zeke bowling ball coming back out there.
Outside of, Le'Veon Bell and maybe 2 other examples, this all just ends up working out. It's all whatever's gonna happen, it's all gonna work out. I mean, we know this too. NFL contracts are a sham generally, unless you ask for guaranteed money and you get it.
What's insane to me is all these rookie deals that are guaranteed. Like Caleb, same thing with Roman Denze.
But aren't they automatically?
Not necessarily.
I think the terms for it are set in stone.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the only thing you can negotiate is what Caleb was trying to do with the franchise tag, or different no trade clauses and shit like that.
Allegedly, he was trying to get paid under an LLC, and he had a lawyer in there asking a bunch of silly questions who's not even a certified NFL agent.
He doesn't have one.
Who's doing his negotiating.
Where'd you hear
very
this?
interesting. local Chicago sports talk, Carmen and Yurko.
Dude. It's like I don't know. Every day's a little different.
He was looking to see if he could get paid under an LLC so he could skip the taxes and get the tax breaks. So it's really interesting.
That is smart, but
yeah, and if you own an LLC in Chicago, M&V Productions, and when you do that, you actually get a lot of tax benefits. So there's some things there that he was trying to do, but the NFL wouldn't allow.
Yeah,
and he was really trying to get out of that clause that say teams can tag you. That's something.
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like that contract is essentially what it is. Like you're not getting out of it really.
No shot.
And he tried to, and it didn't work, and then he signed it, and then it's a nothing burger, and you just move on. That's the whole thing. It's like everybody today, another Stephen A. Smith thing, and Mad Dog screaming about Dak Prescott and if he's good for the team or they should get rid of him. They're not going to do either. He's going to get signed at some point. They're going to give him a lot of money, and then they're just going to move on. It's like, and instead I had to listen to Stephen A. Smith while I was trying to finish a report today, and I was like, fucking Jesus Christ, I can't take it anymore.
I would have just turned that off immediately because that would have just given me anxiety.
I was at work. It was the TV in our lunch cantina area, so I don't really have the willingness to go up and turn the button off.
Look at Vince back in the office like a good employee.
One time.
One of my
I am.
employees.
I go in when I need to, and I stay in Chicago when I can because we have an office.
Speaking of prima donnas and people holding out and all that good stuff, I completed the Receiver doc
on
Netflix. Absolutely.
Can I say an aside
fantastic.
really quick before you do that?
Yeah.
I used to think that prima donna was like BC
Music.
No.
Before Madonna.
Yeah. Like it was like before Christ. It was like pre-Madonna. It was everything that happened before Madonna.
Everything that happened before Madonna. That's
I was like
pre-Madonna.
10. No. I was like 10. I was like, oh, like William Shakespeare is a prima donna.
Well, technically, yes, he is.
Yeah.
But no.
He's not a prima donna. He is prima donna. Babe Ruth, prima donna.
Babe Ruth, prima donna.
Abe Lincoln getting shot, prima donna. Why? Just get over it.
JFK assassination, prima donna.
Prima donna. Get over it,
Right.
JFK. Just get up, bro.
Ronald Reagan era, definitely Madonna.
Yep.
Reagan smash.
Sorry,
but
you did the
watch
receivers draft. Yeah.
Watch the Receivers doc.
Show.
George Kittle might be one of my new favorite people.
He's the best.
Guy's awesome. Just a cool Iowa dude, Bears fan, notable. Him and his wife have been together since sophomore year of college, which I think is wonderful because they, there's no foofy bullshit there. She's been with them from the jump. She was a college athlete at Iowa. And I just thought it was great. Debo's an absolute dog. Justin Jefferson, dog. You just really don't realize, like, these guys play hurt constantly.
All the time. Most of the time.
And to do this and play in this sport, there's a reason they get paid the way they do. If you're that good and play in the NFL, there's a reason. Like, you're a freak of nature. Devontae Adams, though, that was very interesting to me. Devontae was the one guy after watching the documentary that I was like, I don't know if I like him. Because he left to go play with Derek Carr.
Yeah, they fucked him over.
Then they
I
fucked
kind of
him.
don't blame him.
And then he gets, Jimmy Garoppolo, which he hated. And
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't stay on the field, and he was really inaccurate. I don't blame him.
Yeah,
either.
so
he's also used to Aaron Rodgers for what it's worth, too.
Right.
Like his
they
litmus
have
test is Aaron Rodgers.
They have an episode where Aaron Rodgers comes to town. They go to dinner.
They get
and
dinner.
chop it up.
Yeah, I heard that.
There's a lot of things going around after this doc saying that, like, the Jets are going to try and do everything they can to move for him. But in order to give him up, they'd have to give up Garrett Wilson. Because, like, who's gonna throw him the ball? Like, is it going to be Minshew?
It's either Aiden or Gardner.
Two very poor options. Like,
brutal.
In a way, I kind of feel bad for the guy, but in another way, like, he made the decision.
No, you got paid. Go get paid.
Antonio Pearson, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown. That guy's an absolute fucking beast. I didn't know this, but Amon-Ra's dad, John Brown, was
body builder.
Mr. Olympia.
Yeah,
twice. Didn't know that. Absolute freak. Guy is awesome. His mom is a German, right? So his mom is from Dusseldorf.
Why did you say a German?
She's German.
Yeah.
She's from
Why didn't you just say his mom's German?
Well, she's from Germany.
His mom's a German.
Well, just saying. So she's from Germany, And he speaks 2 languages. Him and his brothers also speak German.
I didn't know
Fluently.
this.
Oh yeah,
Equanimous.
brilliant. They're both bilingual and they speak German. And like after some games, he'll do interviews in German with
That's
NFL
awesome.
Germany. It's crazy. And he speaks it like perfectly. So that guy's super impressive.
I think it's
And
awesome that his dad's name is John Brown, and he said, "Fuck this basic ass name shit. I'm adding a saint in front of their last name and calling him Amun Ra, which is like king in Egyptian or something like that."
It's based off of the Egyptian kings, Aquamenes and Amun-Ra. It's based off of like the Egyptian gods. His dad became fascinated with that and named his kids that. But like, I give John a lot of credit. He's groomed his kids into being elite athletes.
Dude, they were lifting at 5. They were ready to go.
Elite athletes.
Yeah.
There's a reason, right? So Amun-Ra got paid, as we all know.
Yep.
Good for him. I believe his girlfriend that's been with him since high school. His dad's hysterical. Like, his girlfriend has been with him since high school, and she's telling a story about when they met in high school, and John said to her, women are dream killers. I don't know if you need to be in my son's life.
Obviously, she benefited. I, from a father's perspective, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like shit like that happens all the time. I mean, everybody's worried about the Brittany Mahomes thing. It seems like it's working out fine, good for them. But like, you see the limelight, and it's like, what if I'm the star? It's like you don't want any of that. Like Juwan Johnson, his wife is like actively ruining his life. It feels like because she's just on Instagram too much. It's bad news.
You know that the one influencer couple that the one guy's in the NFL? I forget his name. Played for the Raiders last year. His wife is like a big influencer, and he played for the Raiders last year. I forget.
Lineman?
Yeah, I forget his name.
I
Also
know what
played
you're
for the
talking about,
Colts.
but yeah,
Saw them in Newport Beach just walking around.
nice.
Fun fact. Yeah.
Didn't even
But
get a
that's kind
picture.
of my 2 cents. Kittle's a dog. If your fantasy draft is in this year, you may want to try and draft all those guys.
You sure?
I think they're all
Because by
trying
the
to-
time week 12 comes around and shit hits the fan, George Kittle might be on the bench, unfortunately. For all that I love him, he gets injured every year for a considerable amount of
Well,
time.
he plays like an absolute madman.
Good for fantasy, though.
Not necessarily.
Toss him.
Well, football talk is exciting. Far more of it to
Completed.
come.
Wait,
training camp.
one question, actually. I saw this the
Yeah.
other day, too. Stuff's coming to my brain. Chicago Sports Talk Radio. I watch Waddle and Sylvie pretty frequently. A couple other guys as well. But they were talking about Caleb Williams finishing his interviews. Have you seen this?
The Bears.
Every time. It's either the Bears. And then recently it's been like, the Bears. They had a whole
Super
conversation about, hey, so the tone on this one was a little bit lower. You think he's getting a little disgruntled? Because the first one he's like, da
Shit.
Bears. And they're like, he said, da Bears. He's pissed. He's pissed. We got to ship him out.
Oh, sometimes I love Chicago media.
Psycho.
But like,
It's psycho.
some of it is just like, well, his inflection on his voice, he didn't seem too happy. Do you think he might be out? And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
If you decide to be introspective and say, what would happen if someone said that about me? Then you wouldn't ask that question. Because everything you say isn't like, and I get that he's at a high level and people are going to read into what he's doing. The way I say things most of the time, especially on this, there's not a lot of intent behind it. If I say "da Bears" differently, it doesn't mean I'm angry now. Like, that's crazy.
Well, I do like the conversations coming out of Bears camp. Like they've talked to Cole Kmet, they've talked to Jalen Johnson, and these guys who have been on the team now.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying there's a lot of expectations, this and that. They seem to be locked in as to what they're doing.
I love that.
And I'm hoping before training camp is over that the Bears sign another defensive end because we need one.
Is
Last year was
Yannick Ngakoue still available?
No, yes, he is. And I think
we
he's
want him?
honestly going to be your easiest option because it's
Yeah.
familiar.
With the defense, too, with Eberflus before.
Javon Dexter, they're saying, is primed for a huge year, which second-year guy, I think that would be great. It would be great to see, especially a guy that you drafted. So, and not only that, but I don't know. I'd love to see if we could get Aaron Donald out of retirement. Be like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to play and really solidify your tenure as a player, which he could still do at a high level. come play on a very young defense where you would just be like a third down guy and relieve Montez Sweat. I mean, he's still got the moves.
Here's the inverse argument. Hey, Los Angeles Rams player who won a Super Bowl, you want to come to a brand new young team in Chicago in 2-degree weather and take care of your body that way? He's worried about his body. That's not going to help him if it's -2 degrees.
A boy can dream, Vince.
I'm with you. I want it to happen.
Like, I watched like all these old videos of, the Brian Urlacher era defenses, and they were just elite.
I know. Mike Brown just hitting holes
Mike
and
Brown,
smacking dudes.
probably the greatest safety that never was, because he was always hurt.
Yep. It was like Palomalu, but before the Palomalu, like Palomalu without the good years. That's essentially what
Correct.
it was.
I think that's a similar trajectory for Mike Brown if he stays on the field.
Yeah.
Rosie Colvin, man. Roosevelt Colvin was an absolute fucking freak.
Tank
Him
Johnson,
and Urlacher
Tommy
on
Harris.
the same defense. Tommy Harris, before Tommy Harris
Injured
went
all
through
the time.
absolute that. Oklahoma Sooner star. Tank Johnson.
Nathan Vasher.
Vasher was a...
I loved him.
He
Major
had like
Wright.
Major Wright was, another Florida guy.
Hunter
Craig
Hillenbrand.
Hunter Hillenmeyer.
Hillenbrand. Shea Hillenbrand. Got two
But the
different
Julius
names.
Peppers era.
That was great.
Scary.
That's when
Tommy
Jay
Harris,
Cutlet was killing it.
Tommy Harris, Julius Peppers, Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, Hunter Hillenmeyer.
Who was the guy
And
that injured
Ottawa
Aaron Rodgers?
Goulier was on that team.
Who's the guy that injured Aaron Rodgers?
Last year?
No. Like, remember, like, it was like week 1 or 2 or whatever, and Aaron Rodgers got really injured in like 2012 or something like that. It was Shea McClellan. Is that a name?
Shea McClellan was stuffed down her football throat for 5 years. It was fucking horrible.
No good. I really wanted him to be. He was okay.
Phil Emery tried to stuff that, like, horrible.
Fuck Phil Emery. I hate that name.
That guy would talk about elite athletes, and Jay, we needed to surround him with elite talent. And
You need to
it's like
surround
he
him with a better
talked, but-
defense.
Yeah. Jay, though, best quarterback the Bears have seen in 20 years. Hate to say
I
it, but
agree.
it's true.
I
your time,
agree.
Jay.
Baseball,
All right.
baby.
Talk a little baseball, Vince.
Mike, I have a question for you.
Yeah, what were we going to call this? The question for the masses?
No, that's later. We're going to get there.
All right.
This
All
is a
right.
different one. The Colorado Rockies scored 20 points yesterday. 20 runs, rather. Excuse me.
Points? What the fuck? What type of baseball fan are you? I was just about to
I got
say.
baseball.
What?
I got
Points?
football.
So 20 points was scored in the baseball game. Vince,
20
run.
points attributed to the New York Yankees. Colorado Rockies, 20 runs. Mike, who was the other team to score 20 or more runs this year?
Who did the Rockies play? Curious. Not the White Sox. We know that.
No. Red Sox. There you go.
Wow. They
Who have been on a tear recently.
So I'm going to throw a dart.
The answer might surprise you. That's the only hint I'll give you.
Pittsburgh Pirates?
I'll go
Okay, I got
cold. I'll go
got
cold
three.
by location.
All right, I got 3 cracks at this. Okay,
Okay.
NL or AL?
AL.
AL. Good team, bad team.
Not going to answer that. The answer might surprise you, though.
So it's a bad team.
Might surprise you.
It's not the White Sox. The Royals?
You're getting warmer. You're heading the right direction.
The Guardians/Indians?
No, I'm talking about location. Going to the Royals was hotter than the White Sox.
St. Louis? No, it's AL.
Keep heading west. Keep heading west is what I'm saying.
Head west.
Yep. Past the
And
Royals.
I tell myself I'm bifungal. Past the Royals. So keep going west?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Oakland
Okay, 3.
Athletics.
Okay. That's
20
far
runs.
fucking west, Vince.
What's what
20
I'm telling you?
runs.
I told you I'll
The-
say hotter or colder
The
by location.
Sacramento A's out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Colorado. All we need is the White Sox to score 20 this year, and then the 3 worst teams in the league score 20
the
runs.
trifecta is complete.
What the fuck is going on, man? This is the beauty of baseball. Any day. Any
Love
given day.
baseball. Any
It's
given
good.
day, some guy could square up and hit the ball with the club better than you. It's just the way the game goes.
So shout
Way
out
she
Chris
blows,
Bryant
boys.
for helping to score 20 runs.
Shout out Chris Bryant, probably making the worst decision of a career ever.
I think,
I think he realized pretty quick that holy fuck, yeah, I got a bag, but I play in a really shitty team. Bet you he lives in like a really cool spot though, and Colorado's gorgeous. So
I was like, think about it. You get your MVP, you win the first World Series in 100+ years for a classic franchise, and then he just rides off into the sunset. That's kind of beautiful.
What a very disappointing trend of a career, if you think
For
about
him?
it. Like, yeah, horrible.
Well, yeah, he was on track to be a Hall of Famer, and now he's not even getting considered that.
No, him and Rizzo at that point were elite. Addison
He might be
Russell,
the most surprising MVP of all time.
Addison Russell, another one everybody thought was going to be generational at shortstop.
He's a real hitter, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, he stuck his dick in everything in Wrigleyville.
Yeah, he also smacked ladies around. Bad guy.
Yeah, he's the Andrew Jones of that team, but he was just banging everything that moved.
You know what he did was so messed up that no one even took a flyer on him. They were like, screw it, I'm not touching him.
Yep, he's done.
Yeah,
now, what I think is bullshit is, speaking of the guy that, allegedly, well, no, it came out in court that he didn't do anything.
Wander Franco, yeah.
No.
Trevor Bauer, yeah.
Trevor Bauer, the fact that nobody's given him a shot yet is
It's
absolutely criminal.
tainted name, for sure.
He's talked shit about the MLB, rightfully so.
Right. And
if I'm the Orioles, man, imagine the Orioles go grab him.
Yeah, I know, but like locker room cancer at that point too. That's probably what they're more worried about. What do you mean? He's like the most like flamboyant baseball player we've seen in the last like 20 years, regardless of his issues. He threw a ball over center field.
Fucking awesome. Frank
It was cool.
Like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
It was cool, but do you think that's good for chemistry for a young Baltimore Orioles
He's a
team?
younger dude. He's had some time out of the league. I think he just appreciates to be on a winning club.
I'm lukewarm on him, honestly. I do think someone should give him an opportunity. I know that there's some shit where it's like, yeah, he didn't get in trouble in legal court for XYZ, but there's still like civil court that he could have. I don't fucking know.
That female gives gold.
Well, there's
diggers
multiple.
their
That's
name.
the issue. That's what people are saying. There's like
whatever.
There's like 4 or something like that.
It's all about banging whores.
Yeah. I don't know. I think at some point, because he also didn't he get like smoked by some team? They played like a preseason game or something like that, and he got fucked up.
I don't know about all that. I mean,
I think he did, because then people were like, "This is why he shouldn't be in the league." I'm like, I don't know, man.
Everybody has
know.
a bad day.
Yeah,
Either way,
whatever. You went to Minnesota, Mike.
I was in good old Minnesota.
Yeah,
another Midwest city trying to be Chicago. It's cute, but it's clean. And it's nice.
Second Target reference of the podcast.
Yeah, second Target reference.
Target! Sponsor us, bitch.
Anyways, went to Minnesota for work.
Yep.
Flew in on Monday. Got in. There's a train that takes you from the airport to US Bank Stadium or Target Field if you chose to go. It's brilliant. It's in the basement of the Minneapolis Airport, MSP. So jump from there. Went directly to my hotel right in front of US Bank Stadium. By the way, US Bank Stadium, elite structure. Holy shit, that place looks like it's a flying saucer. It's insane.
What do you mean, it didn't cave in on itself?
No. I was
That's
actually,
a reference.
fun fact.
That's a reference.
Fun fact, Chicago Mike was actually at the very last home game. The Vikings played the Bears in Minneapolis. Okay. Josh McCown era.
Yep.
Very last game in the Metrodome. Bears lose that game. Robbie Gould shanks a field goal wide right.
Best
Fun.
kicker.
Got to see AP play live in his prime. Absolutely insanely good.
Oh yeah.
That's when Christian Ponder was actually the quarterback for Minneapolis.
I forgot that. Yeah. Beautiful.
So good
life.
old Minnesota.
That's my takeaway from Christian Ponder.
The Phillies were in town. A lot of Phillies fans. Went to a elite restaurant for dinner by the name of the Monte Carlo. Been there since
Foodie
1975.
Mike.
And they have some of the best chicken wings I've ever had in my entire life. 10 out of 10 would recommend if you're going to Minnesota to go to a game. No, they're done with they're Japanese dry wings, so they're in a spice rub, and they're deep fried, and they are touch yourself good. So I had those and a cocktail, and then I walked to the game, bought a ticket, went in. Man, I will tell you what, Minnesota shows up for baseball. That place was slammed.
Yeah.
Fair amount of Phillies fans. They played the Phils. Game was tied 0-0 until the top of 9. Bryce Harper leads off an inning, starts a huge rally, starts it off with a double to start the inning. Then Nick Castellanos comes up in Nick Castellanos fashion. First and third, boom, drives one down the right field line. Clears
What happened?
Bases.
What tragedy
Phillies
happened
won.
for that to happen?
Phillies won.
No, I know, but what
Phillies
tragedy happened? Nick Castellanos gets a hit, tragedy happens.
Yeah, that's what I kept saying. I was like, God, if he walks it off, like, I don't know, Biden might be dead.
If he walks it off this time, the assassination attempt worked. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I've always been a man of faith, and there's a
Deep
long
drive by
drive to
Nick
left
Castellanos.
field.
You know, he's calling college football this year.
Castellanos?
No, the dude that did that.
Oh,
Yes. He's
He's
back.
going to be with Gus Johnson,
Well,
and he's going deep.
luckily, he's not going to be in Kansas
Yeah.
City, so he doesn't
Yeah.
have to say what he said last time. Hey, Tom Brenneman is his name. Watch out
Tom
for the
Brenneman.
hot. Watch out for the hot mic, buddy. Watch out for the hot mic.
Hot Mike. Don't be a Brockmeyer. But all in all, great ballpark. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Go. Very easy to get to. Very easy to leave. Train in, drops you off at the front door. Train out, drops you off.
Fun
wherever you're
city
going.
too. I like Minneapolis.
It's a good little city. Like I said,
It's not
you
Vegas,
know,
but it's it's
No.
nice.
If you go, definitely go to the Monte Carlo for some wings. And if you're a steakhouse guy, definitely go to Manny's. Absolutely outstanding. So
And if
10
you're
out
a
of
corned
10.
beef guy, go to Manny's in Chicago. Boom, had it the other day. Bomb. All right, sorry.
True. I'm true. No, I'm sure. So all in all, Minnesota's a great town. Baseball is elite there. Added to the list of ballparks that I've been to, which are now at a grand total of 9. Yankee Stadium
Nice.
will be 10.
Yes,
So
sir.
I am jacked. We got some more places to get. We got places to be. Now,
Baby, I got places to be.
around, looking for me. All right. So rumor mill. Trade deadline's what? 2 weeks? Not even. A week?
Something. Yeah, I think it's like the. I think it's in
31st,
July,
right?
isn't it? Yeah, I think
swear
it's
to God,
the 30th or
31st
31st
of July.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the very last day of July, so we got a handful of days left here. But a lot of rumor mills coming outside of the White Sox. They're going to probably trade everybody.
It's the
who's
only
worth
thing we
something.
hear. It's the only thing we hear. from the White
Crochet is
Sox
probably
camp.
as good as gone. I do hope we keep Luis Robert. Ideally, I'd love if we kept both of them.
Keep
but I don't
both
think
of
that's
them,
gonna-
dude. They're so good. Like, just give us something. It's so
Yeah,
depressing.
If they get rid of them, it just completely just makes you lose.
Well, what
hope.
else do we got? We don't have one MLB player on our team then. It's crazy.
No, we are
Eric
a triple
Fetty,
A.
Eric Fetty pitching all right. It's bad. They're probably Crochet's probably gone. We should really keep him. He's so young still. He's on his 4th year with us, 3rd year with us? Like
Yeah, he's still on his
first year starting and he's an all-star and then we're going to get rid of him. I hate that team. I love them, but I hate them so much.
Yeah, I told people I was White Sox fans. I had some guy sitting behind me, Phillies fan, and he was like, "Oh, you're a White Sox fan? I'm surprised they haven't moved them out of Chicago. I don't even know why the Chicago needs 2 teams." And I was just like,
You should have just been like, go lose the World Series again, loser. That's what I would have told him.
I was like, "You motherfucker!"
Yeah.
Like,
If I were you, I would have placed a $100 bet on the Phillies losing the World Series just to show them and be like, can't wait to cash this out.
I hope the Phils win this year. To be fair,
Me too, but just because of that guy, I don't anymore.
True.
Don't fuck with my boy. Mike's my boy. Don't fuck with him.
Don't fuck with my boy.
Other teams that possibly hope to compete this year, one by the name of the New York Yankees. Sources saying, word on the street, whispers on the avenue is, Jazz Chisholm might be not good enough for the locker room of the New York Yankees. Plays fine, but his personality is too much for a Yankees clubhouse, is why they're not going to go for him, is what's being told right now.
Weird.
He is an eccentric character, but, like, you had Josh Donaldson for 4 years. You'll be fine.
Josh Donaldson was trying to fight Tim Anderson.
The worst. Josh Donaldson, the worst. I used
He's
to
a
love him.
douchebag.
He
You know
was
the
so
Cubs-
cool and
Do you
so
know the
bad.
Cubs had him? The Cubs
Yeah,
had
oh
him?
yeah. Before the Athletics had him. Before
Yeah.
the Blue Jays had him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he moves to third base and wins an MVP and then turns into the worst fucking guy ever. It's a real heel turn that we haven't seen a lot in baseball in a while.
Yeah, listen, I think the Yankees are trying to load it up in order to lose in the first round of the playoffs, as they usually do. They're on a pretty shitty streak right now. I don't know if Jazz is going to be the cure-all there.
No,
they're
they're poisoned.
Right.
They're poisoned in New York.
So I don't know if
and I
that's
love it.
necessarily going to be that, but he would definitely be a wonderful addition. Short porch and right. He'd be great. And I know he's not necessarily a power hitter, but his home runs would go up exponentially.
Especially with the short porch. That's the difference between a double off the wall and a homer.
Right.
So
I think, hey, you're not going to play in Miami. You'll play in New York. But, hey, to be in pinstripes, can't really beat it.
Yeah.
It'd be like very Dion to me. Like when Dion played for the Yankees, it'd be like
Yeah. And like when he went to
Yeah.
the Cowboys. I don't like Dion anymore. I'm out on
Yeah,
Dion.
everybody's hating on Dion. Listen, if he wins 8 games this year, which he very well might,
They're supposed to go
everybody's
undefeated.
gonna
What do you
forget
mean?
about it. They're not going to be undefeated.
Shador Sanders says everybody they're better than everybody.
You're in the Big 12 now. And
Right. This is
there's
what I'm
some
saying.
fucking
It's like
teams in the Big 12.
I like the confidence, but there's no respect for what they're going into. You can't have confidence being 4-7 the year before. That's just not how that shit works.
Yeah, dude.
But instead, it's like I'm Deion Sanders' son. Like I hate him more than Bronny, as far as sons are concerned.
like Shador Sanders. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's good. Should he be the highest rated quarterback in college football?
No, that's all hype. No substance. He's
No,
good.
I mean,
he should
he's
be like
good,
an
he's not
82,
great.
not a 93 or whatever the fuck
Now,
they put
do
him.
I agree that Travis Hunter, arguably the best
Oh, yeah.
athlete in college sports? Yes.
All day. You want to know what else he's not
Absolutely.
doing? Talking random shit in the middle of nowhere.
No,
Not doing
he's
that
actually
either.
a very respectful young man, and he just says, I love to go fishing.
Yeah. So there's the difference. I mean, whatever. Colorado do well,
So-
whatever it is. I'm just getting annoyed by it.
Crochet, potentially Luis Robert getting traded. If they do, where
Yeah.
they going?
Fucking, I don't care, to be
Okay.
honest.
And then Vlad,
I don't
a
even
lot of
know
people saying
prospects. Yeah.
Vlad might be on the move.
Yeah. So Christian Yelich hurt his back. He will
Okay.
see a spine specialist today, so
Spinal.
Thursday.
I broke my back.
Everybody plays through stuff. Sometimes he just can't, is what he said. His back is fucked. When he broke his knee, it's one thing to deal with. It's frustrating. He says he moves to this. He wants to be able to continue his career, whatever. That might constitute season-ending back surgery. One thing to note is Christian Yelich has been playing almost as good as his MVP year this year. He's had like a return to greatness that we haven't seen in a while from anybody. So this is depressing to see, honestly. I wanted to see him finish out the season. So that provoked the GM and all that stuff getting tweets about, hey, bring Vlad Guerrero to the Brewers. I don't think they're going to do it because it's the Brewers and they don't often do shit like that. But he would kind of be like a Prince Fielder too, in a way.
Oh, he would light it up in Milwaukee.
That'd be cool.
I think it'd be cool. I don't know what you'd have to give up to get him. I think Toronto's he's kind of had a down year, so you might be able to actually get him on the cheap.
He
But
might
they
drop
did
Bo,
have
too.
that big dude who looked an awful lot like Danny Vogue, but he was the Mexican Danny Vogue. I forget his name.
Pablo Sandoval?
No, it was like Luis something. But overall, I think that would be a great fit if that's going to be the case. I mean, he would definitely work on that roster.
Yeah.
They're good. I mean, the Brewers are going to win.
Dude,
the
they're
AL
really good.
Yeah.
They're really good. Guess
And
Craig
the Cubs
Counsell
thought-
didn't do as much as they thought.
The Cubs, the Cubs thought they were getting a guy with Counsell, and it's just like you probably just should have kept the guy who's there.
That's just locker room culture, I guess. Yeah, David Ross worked a lot better than Craig Counsell did this year, but Cubs have their
Yeah.
own issues, and I don't even give a
Well,
fuck about them.
it's always fun, and there's probably always going to be that one trade that happens where you scratch your head and you go, "Really? Wow."
Yeah.
And the White Sox, I don't know. Maybe they're just gearing up to get the team to sell, get rid of every big contract, don't put in any new big contracts.
Yeah.
And with that, then, when you sell the team, there's not as much money on the books. And you get somebody in here who actually wants the team to be good. But until that happens, I don't know what the fuck.
It ain't gonna happen.
Anytime. This.
All right.
And it's true. 2 and 9 to the NBA.
NBA time, Mike? Do we talk about the ball, the bouncing balls?
Let's talk about bouncing balls.
Basket. There's corporate espionage in the works right now, Mike.
Collusion.
Everybody's talked about this. This has been hot in the streets for a while about us losing inside the NBA. We might not lose it, Mike. So, TNT Sports US PR, their official PR account, posted this today. We have matched the Amazon offer. They have a contract not dissimilar to like restricted free agents and matching those things. Not dissimilar. Sorry for the double negative. And do not believe the NBA can reject it. So they matched it. They don't believe they can reject it based on the contract. Their attorneys say the same thing. In doing so, they are rejecting the many fans who continue to show unwavering support of blah, 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 Warner Brothers. We think they have grossly misinterpreted our contractual rights with respect to the 25-26 season and beyond, and will take appropriate action. We look forward to another great season of NBA on TNT and our iconic Inside the NBA. The NBA is trying to fleece TNT by giving it to Amazon.
What the NBA wants is the market share to go to something that they have more control over. TNT's been involved with the NBA for 40 years now or something.
Yeah, and it's Warner Brothers too. It's older than the actual NBA.
Right. So with that, the Amazon deal is sweeter for the NBA. Why they want it? They want the reoccurring revenue. They want to give it to
worse for the fans.
Right. And TNT, I think they're in the right here. They should aggressively combat that. Fuck the NBA. Fuck Silver. Fuck what he's trying to do. He's being a greedy, money-hungry little bitch.
Yeah.
And when you see TNT coming in, you can't do that, and we'll fight it, and we'll match it because they have the money. To your point, they are fucking Warner Brothers.
They're Warner Brothers, yeah.
So I don't disagree. And not only that, but I love Kenny, and I love all those guys talking,
That's crazy you pulled Kenny out of that.
I love Kenny.
I love him too, but if anybody says anything about that show, it's Chuck, Shaq, Ernie, Kenny, probably.
Ernie's awesome.
I love Ernie. Ernie Johnson is who I want to be when I'm of his age. I want to be able to be like that. Chameleon into any scenario. Ernie Johnson can just be himself. That's sick.
Yeah, Ernie's cool. Great voice. I think ultimately TNT has a leg to stand on, and depending if the NBA gets got, which it's looking like they are, I think basketball stays on TNT.
My biggest takeaway from this is there's a lot of lawyers that are about to get paid a lot of money.
100%. And whose pockets are deeper? Maybe the NBA, but we'll see.
Probably the NBA. Probably, though.
Basketball.
Gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Woo!
All right.
U.S. men's team, Mike.
Yeah.
101-100 against 33rd ranked in the FIBA World Cup rankings, South Sudan.
Wait.
Okay.
I have breaking news.
Yep.
Brittany Griner's going to be a dad.
Huh? Really? I'm trying to read you right now. I can't.
So, breaking news. Brittany Griner stated on an interview that her girlfriend is pregnant. And the interviewer's like, oh, you're going to be a mom. And she looked at her, or him, or whatever the fuck it is, and went, oh, no, Pops. I got news. Genetics don't work that way.
Call her Pops.
Call her Pops.
This
also,
line's getting interesting.
The WNBA. By the way, Brittany Griner has a deeper voice than you and me. Now,
Brittany Griner might have to play in the NBA then.
Brittany Griner might have a dick.
I don't know about that.
Saying, she might have a Pashad.
Well, no.
It is possible.
She's definitely more of a masculine lesbian.
She is Joanna Man. She doesn't wear bras. She may or may not have a Pashad, Vince. We have to pay attention to this.
I doubt she does, but who knows? It is weird, though, as far as calling her Pops. I don't understand it. I don't understand.
Well, I just said, congratulations,
whatever.
Brittany Griner. You're going to be a dad.
Yeah, your baby.
Go ahead.
Your baby can call you whatever you want them to. It's your child. Do whatever the fuck you want.
The WNBA All-Stars played the USA team.
That was funny.
Huh?
No, it's
You know what?
because the WNBA / the women's basketball team and the people that are choosing it are ridiculous, as we've known for a very long time. We've been talking about, like, the world, or whoever you want to say, has been talking about this team since Caitlin Clark got omitted, since multiple players that should be on there aren't on there. Yeah.
You want to know why? You want
The
to know why
whole
they're
of
not on there?
the WNBA All-Stars are better than the women's, like, team. Yeah.
Do you want to know why?
Why,
Conspiracy
Mike?
Podcast,
You
Caitlin
haven't
Clark,
watched
and
that-
Angel Reese.
You haven't watched WNBA at all.
I'm telling you, I know why.
Okay. All right, fill me in.
My wife wanted to watch some of the All-Star game, so we did, unfortunately. And
Aw, that's kinda fun.
no, I give those girls try really hard.
It was better than the NBA.
Yeah, it was. It was
For
It's-
sure.
they try a lot harder than the WN or the NBA All-Star game.
Yeah.
I'll give them that much. They actually play defense. Now, what I actually did, thinking about this while watching this event, was I'm like, oh, everybody made a big deal why Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese aren't on the USA team.
Yeah.
The reason they're not on the team is because of fucking TV ratings. They're the hottest things in the sport. So
Wait,
why
what do you
would
mean for
take-
TV ratings?
for WNBA TV ratings and ticket sales? It's
Yeah,
bad
why-
business to put them on the USA team
Why?
because they want local viewership to go up and stay consistent.
They're on
If the
break.
to- Oh, they are?
Yeah. They're not playing
Yeah.
for like 2 weeks.
Oh, they are.
They're just sitting around. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't
No.
make any fucking sense.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
stupid.
know that.
Yeah.
That's really fucking stupid.
They cancel the season for 2 weeks and they come back.
Bullshit.
It's
Never
really
talking
cool.
about this
It
sport
is
ever
really
again on this
cool. It is really cool that they do all of this and get the All-Star game and get everybody jacked up and then do nothing for 2 weeks so everybody forgets about it. That's all that's going to happen.
Yeah. So, okay, then that's bad business. I didn't know they
It's
were off. I
stupid.
thought they were still going to play.
No,
Come on, guys. We're not going to come out and support BG.
The only reason she's not on is because she didn't prove herself yet, and we need to bring people that have proved themselves. There's been quite a victory lap tour of Diana Taurasi, like, messing up her name a little bit as of recent. And I don't like it because I like her, but chill out. You got to have people that are stars in your game. If you don't like them, that's fine, but at least be an ambassador for your sport.
Okay, let's get
I was going to say, I knew you were about to do it, and I was like, this is the right guy to comment on this. These women are good.
There's a lot of women out there, kind of look like boys,
Oh,
not sure
Jesus.
who's who. One may be a dad, doesn't have the parts to be a dad, so I'm a little lost.
How do you
But
know?
these girls try really hard. They actually play.
It's more fun than the NBA one. Speaking of the NBA,
Yes.
we got to this and then got cut off because of the
I'm
dad
sorry,
and
'cause
all that.
Brittany
No,
Griner's
it's
gonna be a
good. This
dad,
this
dude.
is important shit. I'm with
I
you.
mean, it's really important things we got to talk about. It's life. and death.
Yeah. So, U.S. men's basketball team plays 33rd ranked in the world, South Sudan. One of the most recently, what would you call it? I want to say elected. One of the most recently erected countries. Is that the right word for it? Without being a perv?
Oh man, I am.
Yeah. Regardless, 33rd ranked by far outside of the 12 nations that are going to make
Yeah. What's
the
their practice
Olympics.
facility? Dirt.
Dude,
basket?
realistically,
Or
probably
wicker
nothing
basket?
good.
Yeah.
They lost by 1 to the men's team. So I say all of this to ask you this. Is this a turn it on when it counts situation, or is it a, hey, this might be a little harder than we thought situation?
This is a '90s Disney movie. This is what this is.
Brink?
Think of the premise. No,
This is
I'm
Brink.
I'm thinking Cool Runnings. I'm thinking Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
John Candy, great guy. So let's go
How
into
do you
the
know?
mind of the Disney movie, right?
How do you know John
Candy had
Candy's
to
a
be
good
one of
guy?
the greatest people of all time.
I agree, but, maybe
You can't watch Uncle
Dark
Buck
background.
or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and be like, that guy was a dick. No.
true.
You-
It's a good point.
I mean, come on.
Ever
Uncle
watch
Buck's
The
one of
Cosby
greatest
Show, brother?
books.
I stand my point. Go on.
Yes. Bill Cosby also had his after the Cosby Show, he had a show where he was a detective.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually, in one of the cutscenes, there's somebody dropping a pill into a glass of water. So,
I saw that. He was playing every role of like every porn. It's like, I'm going to be the dad who ends up, I'm going to be the detective who ends up. It's like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You like my sweater pudding pop?
But you can't say that Phil's still fine, Phil.
You got a headache? Here's an ibuprofen.
Boy. But either way, South Sudan is totally a Disney movie. And the reason I say that, because it's the premise.
I see what you're saying.
The new Olympic team, third world country.
Not even Olympics. They're not even making it to the Olympics.
He's the head coach,
Mhm.
and he gets his one shot to play the U.S. men's team in a regional qualifier or whatever this was.
Yeah.
And they compete majority of the game. And then the USA team is like surprised at the other end of the court, like, man, guys, we got to pull it together. And they finally wind up winning.
Yeah.
But it
And then
really
they go up
wasn't
and they're
a
like,
win.
mad respect. You guys are killer.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're gonna
Movie
get good.
ends, and they go.
They're not speaking in Afrikaans, you fucking psychopath. This has officially gone off the rails. This last like 20 minutes. All right.
That's thank you in Sudan.
Can you answer my question? Is it a turning it on when it counts situation, or is it, hey, this might be harder than we thought?
They didn't take them seriously, and they thought they were gonna go in and fucking wax the floor up with them, and they didn't.
I agree. Kevin Durant also hasn't played yet. We'll see how that ends up working. But
KD's a stud.
The talent on this team rivals none but the Dream Team. So if they lose this is an all-time worst performance in
100%.
men's basketball history. LeBron bringing out the flag. Shout out to him. Hooray.
Is Bronny on the team too?
That would be hilarious. He's like the water boy. He's like, Papa. Yeah, wait. Bronny and LeBron are on the court together.
Okay.
Does he go, Dad, ball?
Dad.
Oh, Dad.
I'm open.
Dad, pass it to me.
I'm open.
Does he?
He's gotta.
Or does he go like, hey, yo, Pops, throw me the ball?
Hey, Papa.
His voice sounds almost the same as LeBron's. It's kind of freaking me out.
Yeah, it's his kid.
I understand. I don't sound like my dad.
I worked with my father for a few years, and they wouldn't let me call him Dad when I worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
So my father's name is Richard. And I would walk into his office and I would be like, good morning, Dick.
That's good.
And he would just start dying laughing. He'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like, okay,
leave.
Have a great day, Dick.
Go do your job.
Have a great day, Dick.
Go do your job, son.
My dad's famous line once, we got cut off in traffic, and he said, wow, this guy could really fuck up a wet dream. I'm like,
Ha!
oh, boy, that's a good one.
I'm going to use that.
Bronny James, for example, could totally fuck up a wet dream of how many brick cities he's got lately.
That's a fact. Hey, I saw a post the other day. Bronny James drops 12 points. You can't use the word drops for 12
Sorry,
points.
Bronny James, you're going to be a bench warmer for the rest of the season.
This
Toodaloo. Check
This
it at
isn't
the
even
door.
an anti-Bronny James. He will be on the bench for the entire season for sure.
What's his trajectory?
He'll be a good role player. He'll be like 6th, 7th man. In my
So he'll
opinion.
be like Lou?
If
He'll be like Lou?
yeah, but less fast and more physical.
Lou Williams in his day, man.
Bronny James is a plus defender. His jump shot's usually pretty good. It hasn't been good. Like he'll be like a 3-and-D guy that comes off the bench. But my biggest argument here is that you can't use the term drops for less than 20 points. If you go like, oh, I went to the YMCA and I dropped 7 points. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? 20 plus for the term drops. You could just say scored. That's my last thought for this whole podcast.
Well,
That's it.
they're hyping him up. I mean, it is what it is. And,
Media train keeps running.
NBA is going to run. I really hope we compete in, the Olympics. I think it's going to be a situation where we run the table. When all the players are on, they're going to be on. And, we're probably going to get waxed in some track and field events.
We got
usually
Lyles, right? That's the guy's name?
Yeah. Also, want to shout this out. alum of Jacobs High School. Where
Is
Vince and I
he
both
racing
attended.
this year?
Yep, a gentleman by the name that
Yes.
we went to high school with, local legend to Algonquin,
Evan-
Illinois, Evan Yeager.
Jaeger or Jager?
Jaeger.
I remember people saying
know.
Jager. Doesn't. Yeah. Either way,
yeah.
dog. Only notable
Yeah.
alumni from Jacobs High School.
Yeah,
Only one.
nobody else gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like legit. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So there you have it. That's it.
That's it.
And on that note, we appreciate you joining us for another week. Hey, how you doing?
Yay! How you
We
doing?
appreciate you joining us for another week of the Taxi Squad podcast. We will, of course, be back next week. Mike will be playing a home game next week. Happy to be back.
Cheer.
And check out for the Twitch channel where Vince and I will be swearing at each other playing NCAA 25.
Facts.
So that's going to be coming here soon. Check out that content. If you haven't yet, please do us all a favor. Go follow us, download it, like it, share it to a friend, share it to your sister, share it to your brother, share it to your brother from another mother or your sister from another mister. And as always, we will see you next week. Peace.
Talking Tales with Mike and Vince. Oh, you know, jazzy beats while we dispense. Yeah, you know.